to me.
I'm going to say it. I would almost probably know where to go to get there.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't place it.
Don't you think, Kim and Joe, we could all drive right there?
I can't.
Except
I
there's
don't know
no
that-
Right on the money. It's 4 and 15 seconds.
15 seconds.
Yeah.
Well, great. Well, welcome. Since we're all on time, let's go ahead and start the meeting. I officially call this Wednesday, March 31st, special board meeting of the Truckee-Donner Public Utility District to order. It is 4 p.m. Gavel us in. Shauna, can we get a roll call, please?
Thank you. Director Aguirre,
Here.
Director Bender,
Here.
Director Harris,
Here.
Vice President Laliotis,
Here.
President Finn.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. We shall defer the pledge today. General Manager Wright, do we have any changes to the agenda this evening? You are muted. Yep.
One day I'll learn when this is all over. I'll finally learn the lesson. So we do have one update to the agenda under consent item number 8. The proposed for consideration to award the contracts. Staff learned this morning that each of these contracts, the contract for the physical security plan assessment and the contract for third-party evaluation, in addition to board president's signature for authorization, it requires the interim general manager's signature. That's the only notable change. Otherwise, everything else is substantially the same.
Okay. So can we just accept that those changes will happen and still approve the consent calendar?
That would be my recommendation for district council's review.
Well, why don't we do this? Why don't we technically pull 8A and B off consent, modify the staff recommendation to include authorization for the board president and interim general manager to execute the confirmations, and then to go ahead and you could take public comment, and then if you're so inclined, consider a motion to approve staff's recommendations as revised.
Okay. Okay. I think we should go ahead and do all of those things. So let's pull item number 8 off. Well, this is Brian, you get to do this, I think.
President Finn's staff would like to pull item number 8 for board consideration.
Absolutely. Okay. So then we are going to move on at this moment to item number 5, which is public comment. This is time set aside for the public to address the board on any matter that is not on the agenda. Testimony related to any agendized matter should be addressed at the time that item is considered. So do we have any public comment this evening, Shauna?
No, Madam President.
Thank you very much. On to item number 6, director update. This is time for the directors to comment on any item within the purview of the district that is not on the agenda. Do we have any directors' comments this evening? And I do not, so I'll just go ahead and lay that out.
I do actually.
Certainly, Director Harris.
And one of my comments actually relates to the strategic planning. So do we have an opportunity for director comments before the strategic plan presentation?
Well, it's a workshop, so it will be a discussion, hopefully wide-ranging and deep. That is kind of, should be happening during this workshop. Yes, we will have time, which is why I'm not commenting tonight, because I expect to have plenty of opportunity to comment on the strategic plan.
Okay, because my comment, part of my comment actually has to do with something that happened at the previous strategic planning meeting.
If you don't think it's relevant for tonight's discussion, then go ahead and lay it on us.
Okay, it's just really short, but I have a couple of comments. So first off, I really, really want to congratulate the staff at the district for building on the success of the previous employees and managers by reaching the diamond level reliable public power provider designation by the APPA. Steve Hollabaugh started this process about 6 years ago, reaching the gold level designation in 2015 and platinum in 2018. And senior managers such as Ian Fitzgerald and Joe Horvath were able to learn from and improve on the practices and reporting from previous years to reach the diamond level designation for 2021. I'm happy to see the district's commitment to safe and reliable delivery of electricity and hope to see this continue for future years. I was also pleasantly surprised to see the district's recyclable bags used for the Truckee Rotary annual crab feed. I always enjoy seeing our support of local nonprofits in small ways such as this. I've asked Brian to ensure the employees are invited to and receive the notice and link to board agendas. And when they are published, employees should feel comfortable attending the meetings, and I feel that an informed workforce creates a better and more trusting team. I'm also curious if there's another special community engagement project with a board and staff member in the works. I know that REM organized the Donner Lake cleanup last October and before the election, and I haven't seen anything since. I see a lot of trash on the ground, so that is what inspired me to mention it tonight, is to maybe get one of those together again. And then today we are continuing with the strategic planning process. I appreciate the individuals who are taking the time out of their busy schedules participating in the numerous hours of meetings for it, including community members Dan Wilkins, Chief Bill Saline, and John Mitchell, who attended the task force for the undergrounding of utilities. I wanted to share with Pam and with the board that that many ratepayers who I spoke to after our last strategic planning meeting were pretty disheartened for being categorized as cash cows. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but identifying our ratepayers as never-ending financial source for overarching project was kind of surprising. The board's been entrusted to work on behalf of our community, neighbors, and second homeowners and friends to make decisions in their best interest. When the community ratepayers and our essential services are viewed as money-making and for-profit entities, it does not support our mission statement of managing the district in an effective, efficient, and fiscally responsible manner. I would appreciate if management and my fellow board members keep this in mind, that our ratepayers are not an unlimited cash source and should not be viewed as if they are, as we continue with this lengthy and time-consuming, inexpensive strategic planning process. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Harris. Onwards. Do we have any other director comments?
Yeah, got a couple things. No, and appreciate Kim bringing up the RP3 designation. I appreciated Brian's announcement and reading it in the Sierra Sun, and the awesome photo of everyone wearing their masks in the yard. So appreciate everyone's hard work. And as Kim said, keeping up with this process and not letting it fall by the wayside. Second thing is, I apologize. I'm a little out of it today. I had my second COVID shot yesterday, and it's kind of kicking my butt. So kind of fighting a fever and trying to stay lucid, but it's been a bit of a challenge today. And then lastly, I guess I have a question, Kim. You're mentioning the issue of cash cow, and I guess I'm trying to figure out, I attended some of those meetings. What specifically, what process or who said what? How does your concern come about? Because I never got that feeling like the district has put out that these plans, can be funded by the public because there's an unlimited source of funds. In fact, I think we're very concerned about the fact that some of these initiatives pose significant costs to the public and may make them not achievable. So I guess I'd like you to maybe expand on your comments there.
Okay, thanks, Tony, and I'm happy to expand on it and explain it to you. In the analysis in the cash cow slide, it had in there that, you know, electric ratepayers and water ratepayers are considered like the cows. And that's where, like, it's where there's a major funding source available. And it's, when I talk to people, they're like, does she think we're cash cows? I'm not sure. But a lot of times this analysis is used in for-profit agencies, and they'll, you know, you'll have certain businesses that are considered cash cows, and that there's, you know, low overhead, but it's a cash generating business. And in the utility business, I don't look at it as a low overhead business. And that's kind of the feeling I got from the people that I spoke with. So I'm happy that you guys are thinking and keeping it in mind when we're going through this process.
Well, I think we're going to have an opportunity during this workshop to really explore that concept more. I think you have misunderstood the concept and portrayed it to the folks you were speaking to in a way that I don't think accurately reflects what was presented to us at the last meeting. So we will have a chance to delve into that, I imagine, during this workshop, and can explain it a little more clearly for your understanding. Do we have any other director comments?
Yeah, I just on my 2 cents, I too was, took it as, not as an offensive statement, but as a process, understanding where the money is coming from, how to take care of that business segment, be it water, electric, or broadband, etc. So yeah, a little misunderstanding there, and we will have the opportunity to delve into it later as well. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Okay.
guys.
You're welcome. That rolls us into item number 7. We have a presentation this evening on Special District Leadership Foundation Award for Excellence in Transparency, which I'm excited to hear a little more about.
Thank you. Let me just change my screen. And I would like to welcome Dane Waddle with the Special Districts Association of California. So tonight,
I was getting off mute. Sorry. Yes, hi, everyone.
and Dane, at any point during this presentation, please jump in, because Dane does have a few words to discuss with the board. The district is very honored to present the district's Transparency Certificate in Excellence. The California Special Districts Association was formed to promote good governance on a local level. They also do a lot of advocacy for special districts on a legislative and regulatory affair level. They provide professional training and grant funding. Our recent grant, Secure, came through the CSDA for $300,000 to bring grant funds back into the community. That I would like to give a huge shout out to Regina Cooley for securing those grant funds. The Special Districts Leadership Foundation is part of CSDA, and it is a separate leadership, promotes and recognizes and certifies items for the districts, and they do the Transparency Certificate of Excellence. On October 21st, the Board of Directors formed its goals for the strategic planning process, and one of those goals was to engage with customers in our communities to identify opportunities and be welcoming and transparent in how we work. In an event to establish a guideline for future improvements, staff submitted for evaluation by CDLF. And Tony is well aware of how this certificate goes through, as Tahoe City, I believe, has held it for many years. I won't list all of the requirements, but just point out a few. It has everything to do with the board's current ethics training, compliance with the Ralph M. Brown Act, Public Records Act requests, conflict of interest being updated, code of ethics, values, and board conduct, and our financial reserve policy. So there's a large focus on the financial component as well. The website holds the board members' names, contacts, and bios, our election procedures, and a lot of other compliance issues with the website. The SB 272, compliance, the enterprise catalog, amongst other things. And so staff is pleased to announce the district has been awarded this Transparency Certificate of Excellence. It's a great matrix to start, and we can build upon these successes. And we're certified every 3 years. And at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Dane.
Sure, great. Well, thank you so much, Shauna, and thank you, board members as well, for a quick couple minutes to address you. Dane Wadley, I'm the CSDA field coordinator for Truckee Tahoe region, work with the districts up there. Obviously want to congratulate you and thank the district as well for earning, the transparency certificate. You're now one of 154 districts in the state who have earned the certification. So it is a select group, as we like to say. And Shauna certainly hit all the important details about SDLF and the certificate itself. And as I've made presentations to districts across the Sierra and Northern California, and I always tell districts, it's not just putting up a website and putting a few names on there and then you're good to go. It's much more involved than that, which you've seen through the presentation. And certainly staff who checked all those boxes and made sure the policies were completed are certainly aware of the rigorous nature of the certification. And then the last thing I just wanted to highlight was, in addition to obviously showcasing your transparency efforts to your constituents, this helps, the certificate helps CSDA effectively represent districts. So, as Shauna mentioned, we are an advocacy association, and your work demonstrates that districts are, going above and beyond to ensure accountability to the public, right? As a local government agency, that's paramount to what we do. And so as an advocacy association for districts, we of course carry this message to legislators and media and other organizations. So I just want to thank, all of you for prioritizing this work, in your operations. Understand you've got a lot of things going on, but board certainly made it a policy to pursue this. And of course, staff did the heavy lifting to make it a reality. So congratulations. Thank you so much for the opportunity, and look forward to continue to work with you guys going forward.
Thank you so much, Dane.
Thank you so much, Dane and Shauna, both. That's exciting. I'm very proud of our staff. I'm very proud of our board. I just like Shauna said in the presentation, it's a success, and let's continue to build upon it. Do we have any other director comments or I forgot public comment? Do we get public comment on presentations?
No, Madam President, we didn't have any public comment tonight.
Thank you. Do we have any directors who would like to chime in?
I'll congratulate staff. That's phenomenal, and especially with getting the $300,000 grant with Regina Cooley. That's a great accomplishment. So congratulations, and I look forward to these standards being carried forward and even improving upon. So I'm excited about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, no, thanks to staff and everyone involved. Just over the years, a lot of things have progressed, especially our website. Really impressed with our website and how quickly you can get to things and how much information is available there. So kudos to everyone involved. And and transparency is an everyday occurrence, and it really is sort of the cornerstone of special districts and local government. So I do appreciate this recognition and everything that went into it from staff's perspective.
Thank you, Director Laliotis. Okay, if we have no other comments.
It took me a while to find the mute.
It hides.
Yeah, so just wanted to reiterate dittos, appreciate all the hard work. Love to see this and the grant and the award. So congratulations, everyone. And thanks for keeping to work really hard for the district. So thank you.
Thank you, Director Bender. If we have any more director comments, fantastic. Very good.
I'll say something. I got the word from my sister. She calls me every night from Atlanta, Georgia. She says, "Hey, you guys got an award at the PD." And I said, "You're kidding." And she got the message from my daughter, who was in Folsom. Finally got to me. And I think that Brian, you and the staff and everything, as I just ditto Tony and Jeff, thank you all for doing that. I'm really happy to hear that we got that award. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Aguera. Thank you. Yep, these things, they don't happen by accident. So very well done, everybody. Thank you for your hard work. So now we are moving on to number 8, which is no longer a consent item. I believe we just have those few amendments and we get to approve it.
Yeah, President Finn, just for a recap, the staff's proposed amendments are to the recommendation under consideration by the board. The 2 amendments are for both item A or 8A and 8B. Staff learned this morning from NCPA that the authorization would also require the interim general manager's signature, in addition, along with the board president's. So staff is recommending an amendment to include authorize the board president to sign and the interim general manager a confirmation under support services program agreement with Northern California Power Agency, or AESI, to provide utility physical security plan technical advisory in the amount of $31,500 plus a 10% change order authorization for a total not to exceed contract amount of $34,650 plus NCPA's administrative fee. And then item B would be the same. Authorize the board president and the interim general manager to sign a confirmation under the support services agreement with Northern California Power Agency for TRC to provide independent evaluation services in the amount of $6,100 plus a 10% change order allowance.
Very good. Thank you. Do we have any public comments on this item? Thank you, Shauna. I can see you shaking your head. Are we allowed to use that as positive? Very good. Do we have any director comments on item number 8?
I'll move staff recommendation.
Thank you, Director Bender. Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Director Harris. Shauna, could we get a vote, please?
Thank you. Director Aguera,
Yes.
Director Bender,
Yes.
Director Harris,
You're muted. Never gets old.
Yes.
Vice President Laliotis,
Yes.
President Finn.
Yes.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you. Which brings us to the main subject of the evening, item number 9, our strategic plan workshop, which is a continuation of our series of workshops in preparation for approving the strategic plan. So I'm going to hand it, I guess, back to Brian, and we'll go from here.
Yes, thank you, President Finn. This is our workshop number 6 in the strategic planning process. We do have with us this evening Pam Hobday with Pamela Hurd Associates as our facilitator through this presentation, along with staff on some exciting new information. I'm going to share my screen for the presentation and hand it over to Pam for some introductory comments.
Yes, I just wanted to start with March is Women's History Month, Celebration Month. And March 31st today is the last day of celebrating Women's History Month. And I really love that it celebrates the history of women involved in culture, history, and society. So I wanted to thank both Directors Finn, President Finn, and Director Harris for your contribution to society, and for all the women at the PUD who continue to make a difference every single day in so many ways. So I wanted to start with that celebration tonight. And I know that the gentlemen will also support that. It's not separate. We appreciate you too, right? And then I just want to remind everyone that we have tonight's workshop and April 21st workshop is our final working workshop because we will be presenting the strategic plan goals and the strategic plan for your adoption in May. So any questions about the process as we move through anything tonight and next month, that's a great opportunity for you to clarify. And I'd like to focus based on what Brian said, is that we are really going to look at application. So when you engage every 3 years in strategic planning, it's not a plan that sits on a shelf somewhere or in a computer. It's a plan that's your plan. This is the board's strategic plan. And the implementation is only as good as your expectation from staff of what you expect to see. And tonight, you're going to see what the TDPUD staff are excited to continue and to support in implementation strategies. And so as we go through tonight, if there are additional things moving forward you want to see as far as process, please bring those up. So Brian, I think we can share the screen.
All right, it's challenging unmuting while you're sharing screen. That's a really difficult one to find.
Just
so
move to the next slide, would you please?
I hope everyone can see this okay. Right.
So as I said, tonight we're focused on implementation strategies, and we've already started some very exciting work with task forces, with the general manager task forces based on the initiatives that you chose as a board. We're going to be going into great depth with those and sharing feedback from the task forces and getting your input. We are, Director Harris, going to go into a lot more detail about the cash cow analysis, and we're going to show application with processes and systems within the district and how it's used. And then we're going to, we've talked for the last 2 workshops about Monday.com. We're going to show you how Monday.com works, how General Manager Wright is using this, and how all departments are using Monday.com for accountability and transparency. And then we want to finally introduce the environmental social governance model and have a discussion about what it really means and next steps. Just a reminder about workshop ground rules. That was a picture of Donner Lake from our deck last weekend. It was so beautiful. This spring is just fantastic. I had to put it there. So active listening, strategic thinking. Remember, as we get into discussion and really needing your input tonight on these task forces, there's no wrong answer, but we so appreciate hearing from everyone. Collaboration and, of course, mutual respect. Remember that this strategic plan is formed on 4 pillars. We've done a lot of work with the community, and we continue to do work with the community. That is something that a lot of government agencies and districts, special districts, do not choose to engage in during a strategic planning session. So kudos to all of you. And of course, you are the pillar because this is your strategic plan with the executive leadership team, and most importantly, importantly, how we involve employees, not only throughout the plan, but for the future. And in April, we're going to be sharing staff development opportunities and things we've been doing in marrying values, our district values, with behaviors and what employees want to see with behaviors. So that's going to be a really interesting session for next month. So again, tonight we're focused on accountability. And let's review the board goals and your initiatives. And to begin, I want to review the language and vocabulary, because in strategic planning, vocabulary and mutual understanding of that language is really important. So at the last meeting, this is just a review. Remember that initiatives are board initiated. They're usually validated by the community, which we did two ways. One, in the community survey that Adam Probolski's firm did, and then secondly, with focus groups. And now we're acting by taking those concepts into a small group of community leaders, and we're going to be talking about that tonight and the next steps. The initiatives are usually not included in the budget and have no revenue stream until you decide, gosh, this is where we want to go next, and we are going to have to fund something or have partners working with us to fund it. Capital projects can be ongoing multiple year projects, and they're always included in the budget. Okay, let's review. Here are our board goals and our board initiatives. So our board goals, and I want to share with you, there's a note. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listed outside of each goal, but it doesn't mean number 1 is the most important. They are equally weighted. It's just easier as we move forward with the implementation to refer to each goal by a number. So the first goal, manage